Oh dear. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Forgive me, I've just got to look up how we're getting to our next film screen, which is why we might be a bit late, because we're running very much against the clock, and this, I must admit, it was a bit ambitious trying to do both of these films in one day.
Yeah, in retrospect, I mean, considering the actual film length of the Blade Runner film, it kind of cut ourselves a little bit short. But,
can I just say, in my defence, when I booked this, they just said they didn't release how long it was going to be, so I just assumed it would be as long as the final cut of Blade Runner, and it would be 2 hours long.
Except this one was 2 hours 40?
2 hours 40, yeah. No, this is about the same length as it's about 10 minutes longer than Batman v Superman. I know.
Which is saying something.
Yeah, and I know which film I enjoyed seeing more. Still enjoy. So we're taking a break from. So if you haven't guessed it and you haven't read the thumbnail correctly, or you're just on a playlist of some shit I put together, we took a break from the London Film Festival briefly to go see Blade Runner 2049 because we felt while we're up, as much as we're loving all the films we're going to get to see, and we got our ticket for Wonderstruck, which is going to be our next vlog after this one. We felt we can't not go and see the sequel to Blade Runner.
No, I mean the first film was so iconic, and you know
it is one of Ridley Scott's iconic films. Yeah, definitely, along with films like Black Hawk Down, Alien, and Gladiator. Definitely. Ridley Scott didn't return to direct this time. It's give a pronounce his name. It's like Denis Villeneuve, I believe his name. I'm really awful about his pronunciation of his name, but he directed Arrival, which I absolutely adored that film.
Which you saw at the film festival last year, is that right?
No, I didn't see it at the film festival last year, but it was at the film festival last year, but there was an awful lot of buzz about it. I rather foolishly didn't think much of it, but I remember as soon as the first screening happened, everyone was like, this is amazing, and it did get a Best Picture nomination, which it's well deserved. It's one fantastic film, and so everyone when they were saying, "Oh no, don't do a sequel to Blade Runner, don't do that. What are you doing? You're messing with a classic." I was saying, the guy who did Arrival, I frankly think we're in safe hands. If nothing else, it will be interesting.
Which it was.
Oh yeah,
probably more than interesting, I'd say.
Yeah, but that's what I always said. At worst, we're getting interesting because Ridley Scott's executive producing because he was. Turgo was directing to Alien Covenant, which is a film I've now rewatched. I actually think I like it less on a rewatch.
Yeah, I've only seen it the once, but I mean, to be honest, I think that film makes Prometheus an awful lot better, which was the one that came out beforehand in like 2013. Yeah,
it's interesting because we liked it more than Prometheus, but it's better when you compare it to Prometheus. But when you compare it to the Alien and Aliens, you realise this is the best of a bad bunch. Considering how bad Alien 3 and especially Alien Resurrection are. But going back to Blade Runner, I really like the first Blade Runner film. You've not quite seen all
No, I've watched about 3/4 of it, but never actually got to the end of it. I started about twice.
And considering, I think the theatrical cut's only about an hour and a half. There's been about 7 cuts of this because Ridley and Sony, who own, I believe it's Sony now, but I don't know if it was Sony back then. When the studio kind of weren't too happy with the cut, so they kept fighting back and forth over it, and this is the eventual product we got. So Blade Runner 2049. So this is our non-spoiler. Unlike the NFL films, this is release day, so we can go all out with this one. So non-spoiler thoughts. Ren, what do you think of 2049?
It's a lot. It's the kind of the scale of the world that it introduces that it's set in is it's just huge. It's colossal.
It's a bigger scale than the first film, definitely.
Yeah. I said this to Carl coming out of the cinema, but I feel like it was a lot of what Ghost in the Shell probably should have been, with the sprawling metropolises, the vast areas of city of just sheer completely unnatural construction.
Well, I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of Philip K. Dick influence that went into Ghost in the Shell, so I'm not surprised you made that comparison. I did say when we saw Ghost in the Shell all the way back in March, if you want our thoughts on that one, we reviewed it with the Enemy Amigos a while back, along with our thoughts on Sword Art Online, How to Kill a Franchise, the movie.
Interestingly, I would compare it more to the original anime as opposed to the 2017 films. Sorry, Scarlett Johansson. I think that it did a better job of representing the dystopian future, sort of grimdark, horrible underbelly, dilapidated lifestyle.
Yeah, but as I explained to you, it's kind of like Ghost in the Shell is more meant to be the brink of humanity's end. It's more meant to be the brink of us losing what makes us human, and it's a question of what makes us... it has the same question that Blade Runner has of what makes someone human, although they're different. And they both have the same concept of I think, therefore I am is no longer good enough because memories can be artificially created in both worlds. Something that was carried over from the book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Again, the false childhood memories are in that as well as the films. But if you have seen Blade Runner, I think this was fantastic. I've got the shirt from Loot Crate, the Wallace Corporation shirt, because I will say if you're going to go and see it, I really would recommend watching the short animation that Shinichiro Watanabe did. Oh, Shinichiro Watanabe. He directed a short. It's on Crunchyroll now. It's called Blade Runner 2022 Blackout, and it tells about this blackout event they keep going on about in...
Yeah, they do actually refer back to it quite a lot over the course of this
which, if you're not aware... there's a brief text scroll to it at the beginning, but if you haven't seen the short, they treat it like a big deal. I mean, it's only 15 minutes long, but they do get down about replicants rebelling and creating this massive power, blackout of power through some sort of nuclear weapons, and that leads to the Tyrell Corporation from the first film collapsing and the Wallace Corporation kind of taking their place and acquiring all their assets.
Yeah.
It sets up the world of Blade Runner 2049. So I would recommend, if you're going to go see the film, watch the short on Crunchyroll.
For context.
I don't believe at this stage you need a premium account to see it, although you will have to watch it with adverts if you do that. It's actually very close to the Animatrix, in that sort of anime short connecting to the Matrix franchise.
Yeah.
This is pretty much does the same for Blade Runner, although... is it weird to think that I actually enjoyed the Animatrix more than any of the Matrix films?
Yes, probably quite weird. Did you not enjoy the first Matrix film?
I mean, it's all right, but I realised going back at it, I think the Nostalgia Critic made me really realise that there's actually a lot more wrong with this film than we let this film get away with a lot more than we probably should have done.
I mean, I think that's the case with a lot of films, a lot of classics, established ones. I mean, especially around kind of the idea of like...
I think Empire Strikes Back still holds up pretty well.
Yeah, but I mean that's the second one in the franchise.
Alien. I'm gonna get one for you.
Back to Blade Runner. What were your thoughts? Spoiler free. What were your thoughts?
I really enjoyed it. I think this could be in my 10 best films of the year. I'm not sure at this stage because there's been. I keep saying this has been such a fantastic year for films with stuff. I think at the minute of the films that people actually saw because no one saw A Silent Voice. I think the best film I saw this year has been Get Out so far, which is a brilliant thriller done by Jordan Peele. But this could be up there with things like Wonder Woman and Logan, which we're a bit still an Ebert on Logan.
Yeah, so...
I've
been told by many people that I'm wrong on Logan, and I've yet to rewatch it.
You are very wrong on Logan.
On first watch, I didn't think it
I will say though, with you're also very Siskel and Ebert on Golden Circle, Kingsman film, which we never got around to vlog reviewing because of time constraints.
Yeah, we did mean to sort of do a vlog on that, but yeah.
But you dislike that
I
really
much. Disliked it inherently.
You dislike it way too much. I think it's okay.
I don't dislike it too much. I dislike it exactly the right amount.
But with Blade Runner 2049, I think it's a very good follow-up. It has. I wondered where could they possibly go with Blade Runner, given the ending of Blade Runner. They go somewhere very interesting.
See, I think by the end of the film, it's very open-ended, so it's uncertain of... I mean, I don't think they're going to... I mean, I hope they don't pursue a sequel to Blade Runner 2049 anytime soon, but it wouldn't surprise me if at some point in the near-ish future they actually kind of continued on. Yeah, maybe through a different medium, but... But
I wouldn't be surprised if a comic gets made or something.
Yeah,
like
that'll probably be it.
I bet you a fiver it's a comic within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
You know? On camera.
I'm not taking that bet. I can definitely see it happening. So
Yeah.
I'm not betting against that.
I personally am not sure where they're going to go with Blade Runner now. I'm hoping this is kind of it, because I think they're spending more and they're really pushing it. We've had a lot of very good things about it. It's been taken way further than Philip K. Dick ever could have imagined.
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, like through sheer technological advances in the way of graphics and imagery, this film was just stupendous. I don't think there's many films that compare to it with regard to just how visually stunning it was.
Now, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the music as well, like, you know, it's the whole industrious. It's that Inception, like the do thing, like, but imagine that throughout the whole film.
They kind of do. The soundtrack in this is very similar to the original soundtrack, but it's very much more what the
modernised almost.
Modernised, yeah, because the soundtrack in the original one oozes 80s.
It does, and it's very Logan's Run. I thought, like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's that noise. It's the bing. It's the monotony. Yeah.
But I really like the soundtrack. I think this could easily be up for Best Film Score at the Oscars.
Yeah.
In fact, I think this will get a few nominations at the Oscars in the technical categories, although I think Wonder Woman's also going to get quite a few from what I've heard.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
That being said, we got... it's just a brilliant film, I think. But the thing I will say is it leaves a lot rather... open-ended, and it's not like and I know Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, the first film was very open-ended on a lot of things, like his decadent replicant and all that business, which this film kind of like answers once and for all. But the point is, I think a couple of them didn't need to be open-ended.
No, I agree with that. A lot of the films sort of left you guessing, and you were never really in the clear about what was actually happening until they sort of brought it to a loose conclusion at the end. But even then, I don't think it was very apparent what actually was going on.
The fact of the matter is, the director has actually said he wants to urge people not to give away spoilers. And now we normally do minor spoilers and then go to major spoilers. Yeah. The problem is with this film, because it's so different from the trailer.
Yeah.
We can't do anything without giving away massive spoilers.
Yeah. I will say, sorry, was it Jake Gyllenhaal that played?
Do you know? I don't know if it's Jake. I'm pretty sure it's Jake Gyllenhaal, but I'm going to double check because I don't want to. I kept thinking, is this Jake Gyllenhaal or Jared Leto? Because they kind of. I've just realised.
I don't think it was Jared Leto, was it? Anyway,
I have realised from this film though that those two do kind of look alike. Admittedly, you'd rather see Jake Gyllenhaal as the Joker than you would.
I would like to not see Jared Leto as anything, ideally. I mean, specifically not the Joker. But I would say, was his name Tianda Wallace? The guy who played Wallace, the head of the Wallace Corporation. For all that he was picked up in the trailer and the fact that he looks like a hipster, he was in it for all of about 5 minutes, and that was kind of annoying because...
Oh, it is Jared Leto.
It is Jared Leto?
I promise you it's Jared Leto, isn't it?
Oh, God. Okay.
Because I thought for the trailer... I was thinking for the trailers that was Jake Gyllenhaal, but then I saw the...
You told me it was Jake Gyllenhaal. I was like,
I thought it was, because I thought it was from the trailer, but then we actually saw the film and I realised, oh hang on, I actually think that's Jared Leto. He's much better in this than he is in Suicide Squad.
Yes, yeah, it doesn't take much to do better.
Yeah, I mean I remind me again. You've got to remind yourself, Jared Leto has an Oscar.
Yeah. So does Nicolas Cage though.
Yeah, but
the bees.
You got how can you not love Nicolas Cage?
How can you not love Nicolas Cage?
He's basically he's like everyone's fun uncle that comes round and gives you pot.
Fair play. That's an interesting way to put it.
And then you have to call the police when he has a freak out in the evening. He's scraping at the door. Uncle Nick, please stop.
Yeah. So, like, I was actually in terms of the guy who played Wallace. In terms of Jared Leto.
He's not in the film all that much.
He's not. He's really not. And I think the trailer and sort of all sources that
picked up his role a lot more.
Really did. And like, but that I think that is in a way what sort of leads to the idea of a sequel, because we received so little on the character and like his overarching position within the narrative. I do think that they could continue it onto a sequel. Yeah. Which is why I think it's quite important that spoilers are sort of left behind.
I think are we going to do spoilers, or are we going to just leave it as is and just encourage people to go and see it? And then maybe what we should do is do a spoiler talk
We'll do a spoiler talking like when we get back from London, I think.
I think that's enough time for people to have gone and see the film, really get to grips with it, and then we can talk about what I thought. And also by then we might have had a bit more time to process.
Well, exactly. Yeah, we might even go and see it a second time.
I am not getting. I've not got 2 hours and 40 minutes out of my life.
I'm gonna go see it with my dad.
Yeah, because your dad's a big PK Dick fan.
He loves Dick. Shout out to Nye.
He's going to murder you for saying that.
You could
with going back to this one, I will say Harrison Ford's inclusion in it surprised me in the sense of I knew he was in the film, I'd seen the trailer, but I assumed he was going to come into a film at a completely different time than he did, and I assumed he was going to be in it a lot less than he actually was.
Yeah, I felt like it was going to be a case of Bryan Cranston in Godzilla, where he was in it for about 20 minutes before he got killed off.
Yeah.
But surprisingly...
I'm surprised we didn't guess that, because it says when the words "and" appear in the credits in a monster movie, they always die.
Well, exactly, yeah, and especially when the cast is fairly like... Well, actually, I mean, saying that the cast was incredibly good for this film. Harrison Ford actually has a very solid place in the narrative, and sort of a very... Actually...
He has one of the best...
Guides a lot of it, but not guides.
I would say his interaction with Ryan Gosling is fantastic.
Yeah, I thought Ryan Gosling did incredible.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling's fantastic in this film. I'd still say Ryan Gosling is one of the best actors working today.
What was the name of the woman who played... Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to bring this up as well. Ryan Gosling in this film basically has a virtual anime wife. He has a hologram wife.
Played by Daisy Ridley from Rogue One.
Played by Daisy Ridley. Wait, no, it's not Daisy Ridley. No, because she plays Rey from Star Wars.
Not Daisy Ridley, no, it's...
yeah, I was going to say.
What? Felicity Jones, that's
Felicity Jones. Felicity Jones plays a hologram wife for Ryan Gosling.
It's amazing how we got the two Star Wars girls mixed up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think it's because we saw the trailer for Last Jedi when we went to see this.
Yes, that's right. Just beforehand, which looks incredible, by the way. Another Mark Hamill film. We saw Brigsby Bear yesterday, which we
it's online now.
Yep. So it's nice to see more Mark Hamill. But yeah.
Well, I said last night he's an underrated actor.
I mean, 100%. His work as the Joker in all of the Arkham series is incredible.
And the animated series, he's just the best Joker. I mean, even as much as...
You're going to upset a few people if you commit to that.
I'm committing to it. I will go on record and say I think Mark Hamill's the best Joker.
Okay, there's Heath Ledger fans kind of shout at you, Carl.
They can come at me. I'm telling you,
they're going to
Hamill's the best.
Hurl things at you in the streets.
They can come at me. Hamill's the best.
Carl is accepting challenges at this point.
This comes from the Magic the Gathering guy. That's right, you didn't hold up your logo saying, "Watch my channel after this."
Oh yeah, I mean, 4 Tables MTG, hashtag MTG, hashtag Ixalan, hashtag Wizards of the Coast, please notice me, senpai. Anyway.
Hashtag trying too hard. The fact of the matter is, though, with Mark Hamill, I think he's a very underrated actor, and as much as Killing Joke was a bit of a mess, his role as the Joker improved it.
Yeah, he's definitely an incredibly good actor.
The Killing Joke is a mess of a film.
But any other notable performances in Blade Runner, you thought?
Yeah, I found whoever does the action choreography is brilliant, and I keep forgetting how good an actor Dave Bautista is.
I've not actually seen him in anything apart from Guardians of the Galaxy and Blade Runner.
Spectre.
Who is he in Spectre?
He's the henchman to Christoph Waltz.
Oh, to be honest,
He's the one that's always silent.
Oh, okay. I mean, in all honesty, I didn't really enjoy Spectre that much. I like Christoph Waltz as an actor, and it kind of gutted me that he wasn't good in the role.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I felt Spectre was a downgrade compared to Skyfall. Skyfall's one of my favourite Bond films, though, so that's probably why. Do you know what it is about Blade Runner for me for 2049? Do you know what the one thing that one of the things that really bothered me was well, for one thing, the overt product placement. Peugeot gets really...
God, that's right. I mean, it was Sony and Peugeot with the two...
Sony I can kind of forgive because they're distributing the film, so that's kind of fair enough. I mean, it's not as bad as when they have PlayStation controllers in Men in Black 2.
Oh, jeez Louise. Oh, God, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
That's one of the stupidest moments. Because that was a PlayStation advert for really stupid reasons. Yeah. With this one, it's just the Sony logo turns up every so often, which... It's nice to know that Sony and Peugeot still exist in the post-apocalyptic future.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see the LAPD headquarters and the Wallace headquarters and that big sort of looming, dystopian, horrendous, horrible dread-like looking places.
Maybe
and then maybe Sony headquarters is actually just really nice and it's in like a really light area, you know.
It's kind of ironic because in the book, I'm fairly certain most of the world's wiped out because of the world. That's a big difference between this. They do some references to the book.
But I mean, well, the first one, the actual first Blade Runner. I mean, you've said this is a very loose interpretation of the.
Yeah, but Ridley Scott's always gone on record to say he's always found a very loose one. So as a result, you kind of know, take it with a pinch of salt and know it's not going to be the book.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But it's but again, it's not the first time this director's done. I'm careful not to mispronounce his name. That's why I keep saying that. It's not the first time because Arrival was based on a short story, so it's not the first time he's worked with an adapted job. But I really think this guy's one to watch. I think between this and Arrival, he's made some fantastic films. I mean, he's got serious cred now. I'm gonna watch whatever he's directing next.
So, in summary for the film,
really liked it. Really thought it was a great follow-up to Blade Runner. I think it has I think it has a couple of points where I felt the plot dragged a little bit. I'm not certain it needs to be 2.5 hours.
No,
over 2.5 hours. I think you could have cut 20 minutes from this film and it would have been fine.
Yeah, I'd agree with that actually. Yeah, it did sort of stretch out.
There is a couple of points where it's just not much is happening.
I mean,
and there's that really weird scene with Daisy Ridley in the escort. Not Daisy Ridley, Felicity Jones. I've got to remember, it's not the one who took down. It's the one. It's not the one from Star Wars. Who was in the terrible. Who was in the really overrated Studio Ghibli film. It's the one from The Fear of Everything and the terrible Dan Brown adaptation of Inferno.
So I actually completely forgot about that scene until you just mentioned it to me. Yeah, that was incredibly weird.
It was like
there were definitely parts.
Someone has a really weird fetish that they need to talk about.
And it seems that they all sort of, like, the adverts have just lost all sort of censorship rights because, like, there is a giant holographic naked woman at some point. Like,
the irony being that in the book, sex with androids is considered taboo.
Oh, crazy.
It's considered on a level of bestiality.
It's interesting.
Which, I remember Dom said that's how far, when he did his Lost Annotation, that shows just how far PK Dick kind of went because it's... the second we create robots, then we're obviously going to create them for that purpose.
Yeah, well, I mean, I actually I saw a news story come up on Twitter. Apparently, there was a sex robot brought to a convention in Australia.
I wonder how that news story got relevant right now.
I love robot porn. That's what it is.
You just said that on YouTube, you idiot. You know your girlfriend's going to watch this.
Probably, yeah.
You know she's actually coming up in a couple of days.
She is indeed.
So she'll be probably turning up in one of our vlogs in the recent memory.
Essentially, yeah, or behind the camera, whichever she wants to do.
As I said, I think if she's as interesting as she says she is, because I haven't actually met her, she'll probably have some interesting points to add to our things.
True, yeah, hopefully. But yeah, final thoughts. I thought, I mean, again, like visually stunning. Sort of suffers from a little bit of the Lord of the Rings / Hobbit issue of panoramic shots of overwhelmingly large areas of...
Yeah, but in Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, I knew those shots were there. It was actually in New Zealand. With this one, I know it's a green screen.
Well, no, I know, and it is to sort of put into perspective the entire, the sheer scale of everything in which the story takes place. Yeah, visually incredible. Acting, I don't really have any issues with the actors involved. A few elements, as Carl said, were dragged on, but I think some lacked continuity at some points and sort of relevance to the story. But overall, a definite watch, I would say. I mean, as someone who hasn't seen the entirety of the first Blade Runner film, I'm saying that you don't really need all that much context to go into it and still enjoy it. So, for anybody who hasn't seen Blade Runner or doesn't necessarily want to commit to watching the first one, you still should. But the second one's, but 2049 is still...
2049, that's what I found amazing about it. 2049 stands on its own very well.
Yeah, it really does. All you need to know is that Harrison Ford's in the first one, and they pretty much tell you the rest.
Yeah. I actually also, to that being said, we did get a few flashbacks to the first one, which we'll go into in our spoiler talk.
Yeah, but that's for another day.
Good. Cool. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you back for one.